Welcome to episode 2 of my fishing vacation. For those of you who did not see the first episode, I'm going to give you a quick summary, but I expect you to go watch the first video if you want all the details. Essentially, I am on a camping and fishing adventure where I am fishing as many possible lakes as I can over the course of 3 days, with the goal of catching at least one 12-inch fish on each lake. Now, all of these lakes that I'm fishing, I've never seen before, I've had no experience with. They're all brand new to me. So I'm breaking them down live with you as we're on the water. I'm telling you my thoughts, my plans, my strategies, and everything that has happened since. In the last episode, I fished a body of water, had a pretty good day, which was actually this morning. And then I had an issue with my pedal drive, which I think I resolved. It feels pretty good right now, but fingers crossed that continues to be a successful repair, because we are battling 20+ mile an hour wind gusts. Now, that being said, we're fishing a small pond for that reason. This pond comes on recommendation from one of my co-hosts on the Spawn podcast. This is a place that he puts up good numbers on fish. He catches some really big quality fish out of here, and he's been telling me about it and bragging about it for quite a while. And you know, I had to come and check it out for myself and see if it's really what he says it is. So that's what we're doing right now. We're starting things out with a square bill, using a little cranking, covering a little bit of water. If I find some sort of structure that I feel like I need to pick apart, we're going to slow down, Texas rig, wacky rig, maybe even throw a tube. And more or less, we're just going to kind of cover water for a little bit. We're planning on fishing till dark. Now, that being said, every time I've made a plan this week so far, it hasn't worked out. But the goal here is to fish right up until the nighttime, work my way around this place, maybe even a couple of times, because it's pretty small. But for right now, we're going to start cranking. We're going to start covering some water. We're going to see if we can find some of these big fish that my boy Jesse talks about. Accomplished my goal here, guys. Nice smallmouth. He's trying to get off. Boy, he's got some power to him. Now we are anchored so we can display this beautiful smallmouth. Not a huge one, not a monster. Very aggressive. And we're going to throw them on a measuring board real quick, because in this series what I'm trying to do is document my best 5 in inches. So I have been weighing a few of them, but I also want to try and document the length when they're not so big, so that I can see how I did on my trip later on. So we're going to get a measurement on this guy. He is a typical smallmouth that's gonna fly around. He is 14.5 inches of angry smallmouth fury. I'm gonna get him back in the water, but here we go, guys. First fish of the day. All right, first fish on the board. A 12.5 inch, very energetic, very spunky smallmouth. So what we're going to do is we're going to change things up. We're going to go with a chatterbait because of the energy level. That fish was very, very, very aggressive. So that tells me that they might be likely to hit moving baits. So we're going to hopefully spin my kayak around. This wind's not really letting me turn here, but I'm going to roll a chatterbait through the column until we come up on a section that I feel like I need to run, you know, slow down and finesse it. But that's kind of the plan here, is to kind of cover as much water as I can, figure out a pattern as to what they want. do a little junk fishing to start. With it being so windy, it's gonna limit my bait selection slightly because I need louder, more noticeable baits. I need them to be able to track, locate, find the bait. Throwing something subtle like, say, a paddle tail is probably not going to be viable because they're just not even going to be able to see it. They're not going to be able to even know it's there. It's going to be tossed around in the current so much. So we're going to throw a chatterbait, probably a spinner bait. When I come up on what I caught that fish off of right there was some pads. There was, looks like some submergent pads that are dying off, honestly, but he was living right on the edge of them. I just threw that wacky rig right up on there and he came in, smashed it, and then immediately came out of the water. So I'm hoping that's a sign that we're gonna be on a whole bunch of fish before this day is done. Oh, is that grass or is that fish? Weird. Start recording. Start recording. That's fish right there. It's probably another pickerel. No, what in the, really? What the hell? Huh? Fall fish? Really? Is that what that is? That's a fall fish, right? Huh. I think that's a fall fish. What the? You guys gotta see this. Check this fish out. What? Huh? Check that beautiful thing out, guys. Look at that thing. Interesting. Never caught one of those that big before. Huh. Something's hitting that. Must have been a bass though, or it must have been a pickerel. Yeah, he pulled my pants down. Now I'm gonna have to swap that. Okay. I will say, if you guys, and this is not a sponsor, this is not anything more than a product that I am going to highly recommend as a chatterbait trailer. The Crush City freeloader. These things are my absolute favorite chatterbait trailer for a couple of reasons. One, it's the right size. It has the right profile and everything you would need. But two, they hold up so well. Like, I used to go through a ton of chatterbait trailers, and the plastic stuff that they make these out of, it's essentially Elastec, but it's Crush City's version. Whatever they make it out of, it is crazy durable. I mean, you just saw me catch a bunch of pickerel. I've had that bait on that chatterbait for 2 months and caught so many fish on it. Like, a lot of fish that I've caught on a chatterbait have been on like a single pack of those freeloaders. So if you're looking for something to put on the back of a chatterbait that you want, that's gonna last, it's gonna hold up to toothy critters, I highly recommend those freeloaders. You can pretty much get them in every color, so you're able to match it to whatever your chatterbait color that you're running is. But that black, blue, green pumpkin on a green pumpkin chatterbait is pretty much the only bait I'll use when I'm using a chatterbait. It's the only trailer I'll use for it because it's so successful and it holds up so well. I think that might be a smallmouth, guys. Tried to jump. I think it's a smallmouth. It is a big smallmouth. Alrighty. Oh, don't come off. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get in my net. Get in my net. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Oh. Really? Come on, buddy. Wow. He's strong. He's strong. Okay. Finally got him in the net. Finally got him in the net. Probably the single worst net job I've ever done in my life. But I got a smallmouth, guys. Decent fish too. All right, let's shut off my podcast here. Throw him on the measuring board real quick. Come here, bud. Come here, bro. Did you already spit my hook out? You did. Good job, buddy. All right, let's get a measurement on him real quick before I crash. Kind of coasting with the weather right now, but beautiful smallmouth, actually. Pretty small. Pretty small mouth. All right, so that one's a little bit better. 17-incher. Check that fish out, guys. Finally got back into the smallmouth. That was wacky rigging, of course, because that's my go-to smallmouth bait for some reason. It just seems to be the one that gets me the majority of my fish whenever I can't get a bite. That's my break glass in case of emergency bait. I think it is for a lot of people. Throwing it with Berkley, Max Scent General, and black. Not black blue. I've been about this a lot lately. Just straight up black. He messed up my reaction tackle hook, so I'm gonna have to swap that out. But man, it makes me feel so much better because I was thinking I was only gonna get pickerel today. Don't get me wrong, it's fun to catch fish in general, but I don't like catching only pickerel. I really am here for bass, so that's a good way to almost close out the day. We've still got a couple more hours, probably hour and a half maybe, left of my day, so I'm gonna get this hook changed. We're gonna go back to see if we can get some more of those. Well, maybe it is. This is how the smallmouth hit it here, apparently. Cool. Wow, he's acrobatic. Thanks for putting on a show for me, buddy. Boy, they're strong too. Come here, come here, come here. In the net. Huh. So apparently these, like, smallmouth hit it like little smallmouth because it was just little ticks. He wasn't really hitting it that hard, but check this fish out, guys. I'm gonna probably throw him on the board real quick, but check out that smallmouth. Pretty healthy little fish. It's weird though, because the way they're hitting it reminds me a lot of like how a bluegill pecks at the bait. They're not really smashing it. They're just kind of nosing it, you know? They're just kind of bumping it. But they're aggressive, man. That one is 15.5. Nice quality fish. Number 3 on the day. I don't know my total. I'll put it at the top of the screen. Like I said, I'm trying to also see which lake produces the best 5 fish count, because I will be coming back up here next year on a camping trip. So the idea is, you know, I want to figure out which lakes are the best ones to come hit when I come back. So far, this one, actually the ones I fished today, you know, I didn't catch any fish the first day, so pretty interesting. But yeah, I'm gonna keep at it because we're finally getting into some smallmouth. All right, I think I have had enough fun for one day. My feet are numb, my hands are numb. Should definitely wear my insulated boots going forward. It's fall and I should be smarter than that with 60-degree water temps. But anyways, had a great day, caught a bunch of fish at the end there. I'm not gonna lie, I was getting a little panicky thinking that I wasn't gonna have a successful day, but it all turned around after the sun kind of came down and those fish became way more active. Be on the lookout, guys. There's still going to be, at very least, one more episode of this series on my vacation. Maybe two, depending on how I do in the morning. Going to be going out early in the morning, probably in the dark, hit a body of water right next to the campground, fish that till mid-morning, and then I'm going to let my boy Bear Fishing decide where we're going in the afternoon. It's either going to be here or the lake I fished in episode 1. Both are very similar, small. We want to not put too much pressure on ourselves right before a tournament, so we want to fish somewhere semi-relaxing, kind of small, and both of these lakes fit the bill. So I want to thank you guys for coming along with me. I really appreciate you taking time to watch this video. I really appreciate you coming and hanging out with me on my vacation. If you haven't already, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and as always, let's get out there, catch more fish.